Hey everyone, this is Austin Schur here with We Write About Music, and today I am back on again with Isabella Chiarini. She has just released a fantastic new track called The Way Out. I'm super excited to talk to her all about it. Isabella, I want to thank you so much for coming back on. How are you? What's up? How has life been over the past few months?
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to do this again. It's life so far has been really good. Just been working on music. I played two shows since I last saw you, so that was super exciting. Finally getting back into live music. So yeah, I've just been living life.
That's awesome. Obviously, there have been some personal life experiences that I'm sure have happened over the past few months, just given the context of the song. And I'd love for you to explain. You can say as much or as little as you want, but I feel that we should get a background on what the people are about to hear.
Yeah. So my new song, The Way Out, it's basically about a breakup. It's I wanted it to kind of be a little bit more of an empowering breakup song rather than like a sad one.
Yeah.
So it's the song is more about finally like leaving that relationship that you were in and like feeling okay on your own and not feeling like you need that other person. So like you're fine that they're gone pretty much.
Been there, super relatable. I totally get it. The one thing that I want to point out is like the sound on this is fantastic. It's a pretty upbeat, vibrant, like peppy song, but like given the context of like, breakups pretty much suck no matter what was the thought process behind like the theme of the song and like kind of like juxtaposing it with happy versus sad? Kind of get what I'm saying? I know that's a roundabout way of putting it, but
Yeah. Well, I took a lot of inspiration from like The Weeknd and Dua Lipa when I was doing this song.
yeah,
Um, and I thought that a lot of their music kind of does that. Like it's a lot of kind of more Dua Lipa has more of that like beat kind of like the 80s
totally.
that I was kind of going for in this song. And also it's like summer. I was planning on releasing this song somewhere around the summertime.
Yeah.
So I was like, this is like I wanted it to be a good song where if you were like in the car with your friends or whatever, you could roll down the windows and just like you could hear it outside kind of thing. Um, but also keeping the lyrics relatable to other people, not just having it be like this kind of happy, peppy song.
I
Like,
totally understand. It definitely has the summer feel to it. I feel like as far as releases go, this is the perfect time for it. And obviously, not to put words in your mouth, but I'm not really a fan of sadder breakup songs. You know what I mean? I think like putting out something like this that is obviously joyful sounding and that can people can relate to, you'll come out on top in a better way. You know what I mean? And what better than to have the song to sort of memorialize that moment in your
definitely.
life? You know what I mean? So that's amazing. How long did it take you to put this one together?
This one was actually pretty fast. I wrote it with my vocal coach, Teresa.
Okay.
We've known it like I've been taking lessons from her from like since I was around 8 years old. So I've known her for like 11 years. So we're really comfortable together. So when we're writing together, it doesn't like it feels really easy.
Sure.
So the actual writing process only took like a few hours. And then we both
Wow.
it was pretty much finished in one session. Like we did a few afterwards just to like make sure it was kind of where we wanted it, but like the bulk of it was done in like 3 hours. So yeah, it was really fast. And then like even recording, we recorded it like a month after we wrote it. We
Okay.
just we just felt like why wait? Like let's just do it. So
Yeah, I mean, no time like the present, right? It's fresh in your mind, and I really do think that putting songs out at certain times of the year, like it does matter. You know what
yeah,
I mean? No matter if it happened a month ago or a year ago, like people want to hear peppy, windows down type music nowadays. So I get it. And just like the rest of your music, this one is like crisp on the production. I always say it, but I always recommend for people to listen with a nice pair of headphones because the production on this one is out of this world. Do you have a separate team that you work with, or is it like produced in house? How does that work for you?
yeah. So I the producer on this song is Tal Weisman. He's based in Toronto,
Okay.
and he was actually recommended by my vocal coach. They're good friends. So I went to he works in his house, and it was really easy. Like he's super good. I believe he's the one who's playing like the guitar on the actual recording.
Oh,
He's
nice.
yeah, he's so good. He's worked really fast too. Like I was there for like 3 hours, and he was like, "Okay, we're done." And I was like,
Yeah. I was gonna ask you, how involved are you in the process? Obviously, it's your song with your name on it. It's your experiences, but like, are you like, no, I need this to be changed, and I need that guitar tone to be like this?
well, when I'm actually there recording, I'm really involved. Like I'm like, I don't like how I sounded there or something.
Sure.
But when I kind of I trust him or like whoever I work with. Like I've worked with really good people. I've been really lucky to be able to work with the people I have in the music industry. So I always kind of trusted them a little bit more
Sure.
than I guess a normal musician would. But like I'm very like whatever you're hearing, and if I don't like it, I'll tell you kind of thing.
No,
So
I I completely understand. As far as like making music goes, obviously you're one person. You can't do it all.
yeah,
Like you have a life and you can't, because like producing music is like speaking another language. You
yeah,
know what I mean? You can't dedicate yourself. You can, but like, then you that's all you'd be doing. So I don't think that people realize when it comes to music making that it's not just a person. It's not just one person. There is such a big team on the back end, and like obviously you've got great people behind you.
yeah.
That's amazing. As far as like the sound goes, do you have any plans to experiment, or do you feel like you've kind of found like your niche at this point?
I'm always trying new things, even if it's just small in every song,
Yeah,
like something new a little bit, just to keep everybody kind of guessing.
right.
But I will say, like I pop is my main thing, but there's so many different things you can kind of like pop in R&B, pop in like rock, whatever.
Yeah.
Always different like avenues you can take within pop. So I kind of explore within that realm.
Well, I think that's kind of the best part of this song is like it's obviously a pop song. It's like under the umbrella of pop, but music nowadays, because of production, can be anything. People aren't just making straightforward like rock music or R&B, and this kind of has elements of everything. And it listen, like you're still at the beginning of your career. I hope that there's plenty more on the way, but it gives you a base to work off of in the future. So I guess you can kind of do whatever you want at this point, as long as it makes you happy.
Definitely. That's always
Yeah.
to make music I like. I mean, it'd be nice if other people liked it too, but as long as I like it,
It's like, well, listen, you're the one putting the hard work in. Like you're the one who's behind the scenes doing the damn thing. It's like it's your job to make sure it's putting a smile on your face. Nice. Do you have anything else like coming? I mean, I don't want to pull and pry too much, but I wonder if you're the type of artist that's always writing or putting things together in the background.
I am. I'm always on doing something new. Like I have a song that's almost done, not
Okay.
quite done, almost there. And I'm also starting to write another one. I'm always like, what's next? What's next? I don't want to I don't want to be that artist. Like I like to plan. So when I'm doing it,
Have to.
I'm like, I'm releasing in May. I want to release next in November. Like I always kind of do that with myself. So it kind of gives me a timeline to finish things because otherwise
Right.
I just like leave everything kind of sort of finished, sort of not finished. So if I give myself like around an area, then I get it done.
Mhm. I mean, as far as the process goes, how does a song start for you? Does it stem from like a memory you had, or obviously a personal experience, but like I assume lyrics first?
Yeah, definitely lyrics first.
Hmm.
I usually go in, I'm a co-writer. When I write by myself, doesn't always go so well. I can just go on and on and on. So I'm like somebody there to reel me in and be like, no, this is the beginning of the song. You cannot write this here, like type of thing. Like it doesn't make sense. Cause I'll just write. You know what I mean? So
I mean, that's a good thing and a bad thing. You listen, there's no rules in music. That's another thing I don't think people realize is like there's never a step one, two, and three. People could hear a guitar riff and like make a masterpiece after it. So don't let anyone tell you can't do that. But I guess there is a right and a wrong for song composition.
yeah, I mean, it's just like it's the making sense of lyrics. That's like my thing. Like
Yeah.
I'll write and then I'll go back and I'll be like, no, that doesn't make sense. So I'll always have somebody there to kind of
Right.
like in that sense. And then comes the music in the background usually. Like it normally like I start off with an idea and then we do like something on the piano and then we go from there, whatever happens.
Sure. I know that makes sense. It seems pretty straightforward for the most part. Is there a part of like the music making process that you look forward to the most? Like
Um,
in the entire, like from like experiencing whatever it is to like hitting the submit button all the way in the middle.
I say my favorite part, well, two favorite parts are actually recording it because I love being in the studio. That's like I love just being in the booth and just
Yeah,
sitting for like hours. And then the actual releasing part of it I really like as well.
that makes sense. I feel like, listen, I am a very amateur musician myself. Like, been playing guitar for most of my life, but I feel like there's no better thing than being in a studio that actually makes you feel like a musician. Like, puts like some legitimacy minus you, writing in your room or whatever, singing into your phone or something like that. You're like, oh, this is a very real thing. Like, I am a musician. I am doing this thing.
Yeah. There's something like really it sounds cool to be like, yeah, I was in the studio today. And I'm like,
Oh yeah, I mean that's like you were what? You were in the music studio?
yeah,
Yeah, just
I'm just singing. What do you mean? But it's
just
like it
laying some tracks down. No big deal.
just sounds cool.
I love that. You mentioned that you did some shows over the past few months. I forgot, where are you based out of and where are these shows happening? And also I hope that there's more on the way.
Yeah. Well, I'm based in like I'm 45 minutes outside of Toronto in
Okay.
Canada. So I did a show in the end of March, and it was for the Canadian Mental Health Association.
Nice.
Yeah, it was in Hamilton, and I did it with a bunch of other performers. They were all amazing. And that was really fun because I made a lot of new friends out of that, which is great. And then I did one at the beginning of April. It was for my vocal coach, actually. She released her new book. So I
Cool.
sang at her event.
Nice. And so what is an Isabella set list looking like these days?
I usually like to do a few of my originals and then stick a few covers in there just to like have some balance.
Sure.
The originals, I know like I try to switch it up as much as I can. Like there's always like a few songs I always do, like like staples sometimes, but I always
Yeah.
switch up my sets as much as I can.
Totally makes sense. What are some of the covers? What are you singing to get the people going?
I sing my go-to most of the times is Love on the Brain, Rihanna. I love to
Okay, cool.
that's a lot that's my go-to. I've just started I sang 1,000 years, Christina Perry. I used to sing
Nice.
all the time and then I kind of stopped. And then I sang it for the mental health thing I did. And I was like, dang, I forgot how much I like this song. So I just started singing it again. But I think those are right now.
Completely reasonable. It's crazy to think that we're like midway through this year. And I'm sure that I asked you this when we spoke last in February, but are you on the way to hitting some of the goals that you've set for yourself at the beginning of this year? Whether it's music related or just personal related.
Yeah, my goal this year was to have more shows just because of couldn't have any.
Yeah.
I've already done two, which was great. I'm doing another one in November for the Mental Health Association. So I have that
Nice.
coming up already. So just playing as much as I can. That was a big goal for me. And then also just like kind of like being, I feel like on Instagram, a lot of times now it's like, oh, they have to be this perfect thing. And my goal this year was to just be more like myself on Instagram.
Yeah.
I think that's what people want to see. So
I think you're right. You can always kind of sniff out the fakeness here and there. So I get it. I get it. Um, what are you listening to these days? What is inspiring you as an artist? Obviously, your music is it's pretty like it's become its own thing, I suppose. But you're always listening. Like, is there anything that you could recommend? Like, what's on your playlist these days?
the weekend, I've been obsessed. I don't
I
know.
get it. No, I've had Dawn FM going like pretty much once a week at this point. It's fantastic.
So good. I love the weekend right now. I've been loving his older stuff. I don't like
Oh yeah.
I started listening to the newer album and I was like, yeah, I like this. And then I got more into it and I was like, wow, his older stuff is really good.
That's yeah, I'm kind of the opposite to be honest, because I was never super into him, but I've been really into this new album. But
Really?
it's been making me go back to his earlier stuff and I'm like, I know he's obviously the most mainstream like out there artist, but like guy's super talented. So I
Really
get it. And
good.
I do get that like 80s inspiration from his music and your music. So the influence and the inspiration is it's definitely there.
Yeah. Definitely. He's been the one I've been listening to the most. And then I have Dua Lipa, who I've been listening.
Obviously.
Yeah. I'm always Adele, always team Adele whenever, even if she has been 10 years, I'll still listen. I don't care.
Yeah. I think there's a good thing about the rareness in her releases. It makes it a little bit more special.
Yeah. Definitely.
I've got a couple more questions for you at this point. For anyone that hasn't listened to your music, obviously your discography is always growing. But if you had to recommend a single song of yours to sort of introduce a listener to, which would you pick? And I'll open up to a few if you like, because I know one is difficult.
Well, as I was listening to the EP I released, I know it's not one song, but it's kind of one body of work.
There you go. There you go.
So, like my EP, I feel like that was when I really kind of just started discovering who I was the most. I think that was really when I found what I really like to do. And then now this new song is kind of like still going in that same way. Like I feel like that EP was kind of just like me now, because I think a lot of my songs, I was really young when I started releasing, so when I like you can hear the difference between like my first song and like now. So definitely for right now, my EP and then the new song.
Oh yeah, I mean we're always growing as musicians, and your voice is always changing, and like your style is always changing. It's like the evolution of an artist. Crazy thing. Isabella, I have one more question for you, and it is the same way that I finished it up last time. But basically, the question is for the person that's going to discover you from this, and for the person that's going to listen to your music for the first time, what is an opening message that you'd like to say to them?
I would like to say first, hope you enjoy.
Great.
Second, I just hope that when you listen to my music, you feel like whenever I release, I try to convey a certain emotion, and it's always kind of being yourself, discovering yourself, whether it be after a breakup or whether it be just because of life, something in your life happened, and you're like, oh, I don't like something's going on. I always hope that you can, even if it's crying to one of my songs, like just feel an emotion and just be able to it.
That's what it's all about. It's all about connecting and relating and just like kind of jamming out at the same time. It's a well-rounded artist. I want to thank you so much again for coming on, and I want to plug your music obviously one more time. The song is called The Way Out. By the time this comes out, the song will be out, so please listen to it. But also we'll have links so that you can listen to everything else and share and follow and do all that fun stuff. And I personally cannot wait to see what comes next. I'm sure it's going to be great, whatever it is.
Thank you so much.
You are very welcome. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and we will speak soon.
Yeah, you too.
See ya.